are you?
Hello. Hi. Good morning. How are you?
Great, and you?
Yeah, very well.
Good, perfect. Okay, Leo. So, as I told you in the message, I will be your little tutor today. So, my name is Viviana Velasquez, and we have a little, not complicated topic, but maybe controversial one. Okay, so maybe I can have a good speaking chat today. Good?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. So Leo, I will share with you my screen so we can check the questions and maybe we can check a little bit some vocabulary content we are going to use in this chat today. Good?
Yeah.
Well, perfect. So let me check this. Wow. Ready? Can you see my screen now?
Yeah.
Well, excellent. Okay, Leo. So, the topic today is about animal testing. Okay? So, is animal testing a justified action? What do you think about this question?
Okay. When it comes to animal testing, there are many things that you have to take into account.
Right.
First and foremost, I gotta say that this is very beneficial. The reason that scientists try to use animals that maybe share some kind of things related to the DNA. For example, chimpanzees. This is going to be beneficial in the long run because they could find some kind of cures in order to find a life-saving cure, life-saving cure.
Right.
For example, there have been some kind of experiments. For instance, open heart surgeries, heart transplantations.
Transportation.
For example, that were done in animals such as dogs, chimpanzees, and some positive benefits. But maybe if I talk about the negative aspect, I could say that first of all, animals could suffer a lot of pain.
Right.
You know that they can't speak, and they could say about how painful is what they are experimenting. In my point of view, I consider that animal researches are very good because when you do this kind of trials, it's likely that you're going to find, if you are a scientist, you're going to find many ways in order to find some important cures and going to many people's lives. We're going to help people's lives
Right.
in the foreseeable future. Yeah.
Okay, excellent. So I can notice you make a little research about the topic, so it is really important to document a little bit about the ideas, right? Because sometimes we know our point of view, but we don't know exactly what is happening outside, like what medical investigations or research are using the animals. Maybe, as you said, it is a vital and very crucial part or component of medicine. So sometimes we said, well, it is a little unfair with animals because they cannot speak, they cannot say anything, but sometimes it's the only way, to cure some diseases which are really having, like creating problems with human behavior and human feelings, right? So it's really, really important, and that's cool. You make a little research about that part. So
much more because when you don't know anything about this fact, you feel uncomfortable with what you're talking about.
Right.
That's why I try to look up online some kind of information related to this kind of topics.
Right. Cool. And it's really important. I mean, not only because of the sessions, but in general, we have to check what is happening around, right? Like what is happening in the world. Sometimes we don't care about these situations, but they are really, really necessary to understand. and maybe we can have a little different point of view, right? Like when we are the same here now, like politics and those controversial topics about politicians and everything, we don't know and we don't care when it is not affecting to us, right? But sometimes this topic, for example, is affecting humans in general, not human beings. So it is just like I don't care because I just use products and I don't know what is happening outside the labs, right? So
Yeah.
really it's really important, and that is a good point from you to research a little bit. Okay, Leo, let's see some vocabulary. Maybe you can explain to me what you understand about this, okay? So we got vocabulary related, of course, to this topic. So we got captivity. Can you explain to me what is captivity?
Captivity. Captivity. I don't know. Okay. Captivity is when an animal is enclosed in a specific place and it is not able to run away easily.
Okay, perfect. So I guess you know that caging it is something similar, right? Can you describe it to me?
In this moment, I forgot this word.
Cage. Well,
Why is that? No, I don't know.
actually, it's something that you can see in the picture. Similar to captivity.
Jaula.
Yes, right. So caging will be the action itself, right? Can you explain to me with different words what is caging different to captivity?
Yeah. I'm gonna do my best.
Okay, that's the cool part. Improvise, it is.
Um, Caging is a special room when where animals are living. For example, you could find a cage when you get into a zoo.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Okay, perfect. Simple. Isolation, Leo. What do you think or what do you remember about isolation?
Isolation is when, okay, yeah, synonym of this word could be separated.
Mm-hmm.
It's when isolation. Let me see. I don't know, but maybe if I look at the picture who is below, which
Yes.
is below,
Yes.
is when something is separated from other because maybe because a specific reason. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I don't know. For example, this word is familiar for me in when it comes to going to the gym. I mean, for example, there are some specific exercises, just like lifting weights.
Yes.
Because if you lift weights, you are isolating your muscle, your biceps.
Oh,
It is
okay.
not as if you were making pull-ups. If you were doing pull-ups, you are going to, your body is going to be involved in the whole thing, the whole body. Not only your biceps, but also your triceps, your chest, your back. So this is not an isolated exercise. But for example, if you lift weights, this is completely different. You're going to put your biceps into work. Only this muscle is going to be focused on that kind of part.
Part. Okay, perfect. Okay, that is a very good explanation about exercising. Okay, animal handling. Where is that?
Handling, handle. Okay, it's related to how maybe scientists are taking care of animals.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Handle is manage something like that.
Yeah.
For
Right.
example, when you're talking about, well, I am a teacher. I'm a teacher. So one of the most important keys in order for you to be successful is to have a good I forgot the word. A good group management. You have to be able to handle students.
Perfect. Right. So it is like the kind of treatment you do, right?
Yeah.
With, in this case, animals, or in your case as a teacher, how you manage some situations which is students, no? Like
Yeah,
how
situation.
they
Right.
performs and how they behave, right? When you are in the classes. Good. Regulations. It seems to be similar to the laws. Do you remember what is this about?
Regulations. So, do you say that is it similar to what kind of thing? Sorry.
Law. The law. Government laws.
Uh, it's about maybe it comes down to control.
Yes. In this case, of course, it is about the rules and duties medical centers have to handle. Yes, in order to be in order with the law in general to manage or to handle the animal treatment, right?
Yeah. Yeah. When you were talking about law, yeah.
Right.
You're right. Maybe there is a problem with illegal immigration. For example, here in Colombia, with those people who came from Venezuela. So maybe the government is going to crack down on people, this kind of people.
Right. Good.
Yeah.
Okay. Leo, non-animal methods. Can you explain to me?
Non-animal methods. Maybe it's related to some kind of experiments that scientists are going to do with people.
So it's not necessarily involving animals, but they can get another kind of strategies to test what they are creating, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Right.
approvals. Similar to regulation, maybe?
Yes, similar to regulation approval. I don't know how to explain that word. Approvals. I don't know. I don't have anything in mind about this
Well,
word.
basically when these medical centers in general, the people who are using animals for testing, they need to comply with the regulation by the law, right? Not exceeding what they have to, or maybe they need to pay or something similar. So they receive the approval of governments to continue with the experiments they are using, right? So approval basically is the law requirement the centers have to have in order to continue with the experiments they need, right? Like the resolutions or those kind of law approval, right? Vaccines, vaccination. What do you remember about this?
Vaccines. Vaccines is the result of the experiments that scientists were doing by using animals. This is gonna be the cure.
Well, so they are testing by using needles, right? With the final results, I suppose, about the experiments they are doing, right? As the image we have with mouse, right? There is a vaccine, so it's kind of hard and painful, I guess, and the results are unknown until the animals react. Yes?
Yes.
Well, and finally we got animal dissection. What did you remember about this?
Animal dissection is this kind of process which scientists are taking out some parts of animal's body in order to analyze some kind of things related to the DNA.
Yes. Okay, perfect. Technical vocabulary. Okay, so let's see now some specific questions, and then we got the conclusion about this. Okay, so you already explained to me what is animal testing, which is really nice explanation. So what kind of animals do you remember or do you think are used for testing or to get these experiments? What kind of animals?
First and foremost, maybe rats.
Right, that is the most common one.
There are millions of rats. That's why scientists decided to use those kind of animals. As I told you before, obviously these kind of animals, which are chimpanzees, and all these kind of familiar animals, because they have something in common in terms of the DNA. It's something related to the structure that human beings have. That's why maybe they consider favorable when using these animals in order to have some kind of researches.
Right, perfect. Well, next question would be...
In other words, all in all, if they're making some experiments, if something is going to work out well with animals, they think that this is going to happen. It's going to happen the same thing with people.
With people, right? That is what supposedly is the regulation about the law, right? Maybe they think it is possible for us to get small animals because they don't say anything and they don't have families, but well, actually they don't know that really animals, or in my opinion, they really think, right? So, well, they suppose what animals feel, right? But they really don't know exactly what it is. So, yes, all these animals, they are supposed to be similar with the structure, sometimes anatomy, right, from human beings. So they are similar also with the feelings and emotion. I will say about that, right? Like they are comparing just the DNA, as you mentioned, but they don't know exactly what happened psychologically, right, with the animals. So it is another topic which really we need to think a little bit about. Okay, Leo, 2 more questions. What fields do you think they need to use animals to test their experiments?
What fields?
Yeah. You were making your research, right? So basically we said, well, that is a medical thing, but is there any other field that we can mention they are using animals to experiment?
Okay. I think that there is another problem when scientists try to use animals, and is the fact that they try to use it in order to make cosmetics. Yeah.
Right.
And another, but I don't remember which.
Which one?
Which one? Yeah.
Well, yes, actually there is as I could research also, because of course that is not a topic we usually have, right, every day. But yes, basically they have for drugs, pharmaceutical components, right, and this cosmetic things, and sometimes for how is this oh my gosh, the school's research, as we mentioned before, the animal dissection, right? So those are the fields, like a pedagogical field they are using to get to know some components about the anatomy and physical structures, as you mentioned before. So basically medicine, education, and I don't know how to call the cosmetic part, but they are always using animals for human favors, no? Because there is not something that we can say there is science, or in my case it is not. commonly seen as a science fact, right?
Yeah.
What do you remember, or maybe if you can notice some associations or some, how we can say that, like people who are joined to defeat or maybe to defend and promote non-animal methods to use in science? I clarify the idea. Do you remember, do you know some associations which promote the non-animal methods?
To be honest, I don't know anything about this kind of associations. What comes to my mind in this moment is the fact that when I was studying in Bogota at Javeriana, a friend of mine by the name of Maria Francisca was involved in some kind of groups that try to take care of animals,
right?
Especially bulls. So they were against this kind of events that were taking place in Bogota. She was struggling a lot in order to do away with this kind of events. As you could realize, these events were taken out, were eliminated. Yeah, that's what I could tell you.
Well, unfortunately, those events are coming again to our city because of our major, the intelligent major we have now. But yes, it is kind of I will say there is a really, really important issue, right, in human behavior to take care a little bit about our environment, and it obviously includes our love for animals. So I really, really defend and promote different thoughts, because I cannot say there are events because I don't have too much time, but the generating awareness about what animals can mean for us as humans, right? I love animals, I have pets, and I try to rescue animals and everything, so I am against also about using these animals for human entertainment, like the bullfighting and those things. So yes, unfortunately we have again those fights in our city, but there are some associations, and there is one that is very, very famous, that is worldwide, which is PETA. I don't know if you have heard about it.
No,
it's like an Spanish association. It comes in, or it was founded in Madrid or Barcelona, I don't remember exactly, but they are really famous, and they have different branches and facilities all around the European place, right? So it's really important maybe to check if possibly in Latin America we have something similar. I guess it
there's some branches, as you say, here in Latin America.
Cool. But sometimes we don't care about it, so it's just like they are so crazy. We think people are crazy just because they love animals, but I don't know, I really defend a little bit more animals than humans. I don't know. I think they are more special, and we are just a destructive species.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, conclusion. Leo, tell me your conclusion about this talk.
I don't know. Okay. First of all, I consider that it's very important to know about all these kind of issues that are happening all over the world. It is part of the culture, and it's very imperative to know all these things that happen. And this is very different. On the other hand,
yes,
it's very outstanding to know different kind of vocabulary if you want to defend yourself in English.
Right.
Today it was very constructive. I had not only the pleasure to meet you, but also to know about vocabulary obviously to share thoughts about what's happening in this world.
Perfect. Thank you. I really appreciate your time because I know Saturday morning it's a little difficult for all of us.
Yeah.
As a teacher, I know, and you, my colleague, you know that we worked a lot in the week on weekdays and everything. So on weekend we just want to relax a little bit. Teachers never do that because we always take some work at home. So you know, but really, Leito, just as a feedback, we use a great vocabulary, technical vocabulary that is not usually happening in our chat. So I really congratulate you because you are using some words that is not common to use. So it's really satisfying seeing that people are just searching some vocabulary, trying to apply into different conversations, so which is really rewarding as teachers, you know. We have coherent and fluent conversation, so even if you are in the first semester, as you told me before, you have a great manage and command of the language, so I don't have any problem with you, and grammar constructions are really good, so no problem about your English use today. Just recommendation, as usual, we need to work a little bit more on vocabulary, as you know. Be careful sometimes with using prepositions to connect, which is